Dan Perry here with another Dan on Tech Python video.
In this video, we're going to look at nested if statements, and that is an if statement inside of an if statement. We can nest or place if statements as deeply as we want inside of each other. We can also put ifs in loops and loops in ifs. So any of the structures we have talked about can be nested inside of each other. What I've done is I've created a program here, and I've set a number equal to 10. And my first if statement uses the modulus operator. If you remember that one, that is the percent sign. And the modulus operator does a division of an integer value, and then it returns the remainder. So for example, if I took 5 divided by 2, it would go 2 times. The integer portion would be 2, but it would have a remainder of 1. So I'm checking to see if the remainder is 0. So if I do that number, mod or modulus 2, what it will do, if I do check it then against 0, it will tell me that that division was an integer. And this tells me that the number in this case is evenly divisible by 2. Then, if that happens to be true, it checks to see if the number is evenly divisible by 10. If it's an even number, then it checks to see if the number is evenly divisible by 10. If that's true, then it says that the number is even and a multiple of 10. Well, 10 is a multiple of 10. Otherwise, it's even but not a multiple of 10, or else it's even. If that outside if, which is done first, gives me a remainder, and the remainder, if I'm doing a mod 2, could only be 1, says the number is an odd number. So I find out that the number's even from the first one, and then whether it's a multiple of 10 from the second one. So if I run it now, you'll see that it says the number's even and a multiple of 10. Well, 10 would be. And if I change that to 20, 20 should be as well. But if I change it to, say, 22, now 22 is even, so this first if will be true, but the second if will be false, so it'll pop down to the else that goes with the second if. So if I run it now, it says the number is even, but not a multiple of 10. So it printed this one because the first if was true, the second if's false, so it does the else associated with the second if. If I change that to 23, that's an odd number. If I now run it, it says the number is odd. This if was false, so it jumped down to the else that went with this if. How do I know which else went with the if? The indentation tells me what goes with what. So I can take a number, or I can take anything and I can do an if statement, and then inside it I can do another if statement. In the next video, we'll look at another example where in the inner if statement we're looking at something totally different.
Thank you for watching this Dan on Tech video. Please subscribe to this playlist so you don't miss future videos. Please check out and subscribe to our other Dan on Tech channel playlists.